Welcome back to the channel. This is Matt Garland, NMLS number 58700, but better known as MG the Mortgage Guy. We are alive. We are blessed. Thank God for another day. Happy Monday. Thank God it's Monday. It's kind of cold here in New York, but we're going to get through it. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications as you come into the channel, please. And as always, make sure you guys go to mgbookstore.com, pick up the latest and greatest books. You got House Hackonomics, perfect for the person who's looking to house hack their life away. And then you also got the Real Estate Investors Manifesto, perfect for the first-time real estate investor. And remember, guys, tomorrow, we have that free, start of day one, that free 4-week masterclass, 4-week masterclass, a part of MG Mortgage Academy. It is free. You don't get access to the replay. I ain't gonna hold you up. You don't get access to the replay if you go the free route. So if you want to have access to the replay, let me bring up the comments. I'm gonna send the link in the comments right now for you guys. If you want to register for free, there's limited space available. I just put the link in the comments. But if you want to have access to the replay and everything that comes with MG Mortgage Academy, go to mgmortgageacademy.com, sign up. It's only $99 right now annually. Or like I said, you want to get a taste of what my teaching skills is like and what I do in the academy, join up for free. You get access to all 4 weeks, but you don't get access to the replays. Link is in the chat and will be in the description of this video. All right, so today we're going to talk about, down payment assistance. People are always hitting me up talking about how do I get some money to buy this house? They don't have no money, blah, 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 blah. So one of my good friends, friend to the show, but just a friend overall, and my Virgo sister, most importantly, hit me up. Now, I think I hit her up at the end of the year, Happy New Year, all that good stuff, blah, blah, blah. She said, yo, we got a new program out here in Chicago that can give home buyers $15,000 if they're buying in distressed areas. I said, oh, this would be great for the audience. Let's learn about it. So without further ado, this is not going to be a long live. We're going to get straight to the point. I want you guys to get the information, especially if you're looking to buy, if you're in Chicago, surrounding cities. I want you guys to have the information. And now, if you follow me here on YouTube for some years now, you know about in 2020, I was going around all around the country and had a lot of my real estate professional friends come on the channel from different cities and talk about what's going on in their cities. So we're going to bring that back, but it might not be here on YouTube. It's going to be a part of the elite membership in the academy. But we'll talk about that later. If you're in a class tomorrow, you'll see what I'm talking about. But let's bring on my special guest right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I need you guys to give a warm welcome, a warm Rants and Gems welcome. Throw some gems in the comment for a certified gem dropper, real estate investor, real estate broker, just overall badass. Rashan Scott is in the building. Rashan Scott, how the hell are you today?
How are you? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Rashan Scott. We are alive. We are blessed. Thank you for blessing the channel today and giving us some information about your beautiful cold-ass market, Chicago. Right? We love Chicago.
It's too cold.
You told me it's about to be a snowstorm coming, too. It's freezing out there.
Right, crazy. But no, thanks for having me. Always good to be here. Man, we did do those. You even had the Generational Wealth Conference that you was doing back in 2019.
So
before you started going around,
talk to him, Rashauna. Talk to him. Yo, right, 2019.
We a couple years in, okay?
We almost 5 years in. We've been over 5 years of knowing you. I had the Generational Wealth Workshop. Damn, that was fire, too. It was March 2nd, 2019. That was my first paid event that I did, and it was incredible. And it was a snowstorm that day, too. And it was incredible.
Right, crazy.
But
shout out. It was I remember being on the party bus. Man, it was.
Oh, you talking about the second one? Yeah, the second one we had in June. That's when I see. Yeah. Yo, I ain't gonna hold you up. I'm kind of like one of the pioneers of this shit because I was the first one who did a party bus. I did a sprinter and I had a dinner. right? I had a VIP dinner. No one was doing that until I started doing that. I ain't gonna hold you up. No one was doing that, but I'll pat myself
Yeah.
on the back for that one. So
No, it was good. It was
that,
good.
that was amazing. That was my second paid event. That was dope. That was fire. So
Yeah.
Rashauna,
And you
talk to
brought the
us.
who's who out.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of heavy hitters. So
And in each market, I remember you brought like Asia out. She talked about Detroit. You had somebody
yep,
talking about Philly. Like everything was in one place. So it just is a no brainer to still be here, to still be doing it. I mean, to be honest, like you said, 5 years in and doing this, and even much longer of actually doing it. But the reality and the truth is, we know who really been working.
we know who's been working. It's showing. It's definitely
Right.
showing. So
And here we are.
for those who don't know you, Rashauna, please give a quick introduction of who you are.
Okay. Hey, y'all. I'm Rashan Scott. Born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I'm an Illinois licensed real estate broker. I run a team of real estate agents here in the Chicago founder of Flipping in Heels. Sorry, my connection is a little bit choppy, but hopefully y'all can hear me. Regardless if you can see me, y'all still gonna get these gems. And so, we're gonna go ahead and rock out. But yeah, I'm the founder of Flipping in Heels, a community for women real estate investors where we do conferences, seminars, teach nationwide about real estate investing. And really, one of the biggest things is to bring you guys the content, the information, talk to you guys about how you can invest, what different programs you can leverage, and what resources that are available for you. Like, that's why we're here, right? To continue pushing the culture forward, and to talk about generational wealth building through investing in real estate. So, yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. So let's talk about the Chicago Neighborhood Recovery Program. What is the details? What is this program? And tell us the good, the bad, and the ugly about the CNRP program.
Yep. So it actually is replacing the formerly known as MMRP program. So if you know anything about Chicago or the Chicago market, or even if you saw me talk on Market Mondays when EYL was just here in October, MMRP, like I said, the Micro Market Recovery Program, where it is a grant that has come and gone over the past couple of years, and it's through the Chicago Department of Housing. And so I was actually awarded in 2022 the #1 realtor to close on properties utilizing this grant. And the program can range anywhere from, sometimes it's 15,000. They recently went up to 30,000, but that lasted for a very short window. They closed that, took it away, and then kind of revamped some things. And literally, like MG said, the same day that I got the email about this program, the same day that it hit, I text him like, hey, there's a new program that just dropped. And the thing about it is that you want to be the first mover on any program that is available in your market. So I'm on the Department of Housing email list. So wherever you're located, I would highly recommend that you reach out to the local urban league, maybe NHS, maybe your Department of Housing, and see what type of email list they have that you can get on. So when we do drop these programs, you are the first to know. Because guess what? They don't have unlimited funds, right? Like, these programs run out of money. And so if you're, a real estate professional, it's definitely important for you to know, so you can share this information with your clients. Or if you're, looking for yourself, you want to be one of the first movers to take advantage. So with that being said, the CNRP, the Chicago Neighborhood Recovery Program, they cover 11 areas throughout the Chicagoland area. So I'm going to go ahead and list them. I got them pulled up right here. The areas are primarily on the south and west side of Chicago. So these are in gentrifying areas, changing areas. Some areas that are moving at a quicker pace than some others are. But these are areas that still have opportunities and that still have deals. Okay. So Auburn Gresham, that's the south side, that's 60620. You have Austin, which is a neighborhood on the west side, just bordering Oak Park in the west side of Chicago. You also have Chatham, which is another south side neighborhood. You have Chicago Lawn, which is literally minutes away from one of our airports, which is Chicago Midway. So hint, hint, right? So for Airbnb, travel and nursing and things like that, that can be a great opportunity to invest in a neighborhood like that. That's close to, the airport, right? You got Inglewood, Southside, you got Hermosa, New City, or which is also called Back of the Yards. You got South Shore, which is the neighbor to the new Obama Library, right? That's coming. That will be here. They have, officially broken ground. I rode by it the other day. The building is huge. So the completion on that is 2025. So, Woodlawn and surrounding areas, the property value has gone up and will continue to go up because there's a lot of new developments that are happening in the area and that are coming. So that's South West Garfield Park, that's on the west side, also West Humble Park, and then you have West Pullman, which is further south in the Hunnits, as we call it. But yeah, so it's a $15,000 grant or program, and in regards to qualifying, is just really the typical home buyer qualifications. They don't have it listed on the website of exactly what it is you need. You do also need to take a like a home buyer certification course that is going to be required, especially if you're buying a multi-unit. If you're looking at buying a multi-unit, then there is a landlord certification course that they're going to require as well. And both of those are just like virtual courses that you can watch and you get the certification. But as long as you have that and you have traditional, regular home buyer qualifications that you pass, then you're good to go. And you do have to be under contract though to submit for the grant. Now that's the other thing. So that means you already have to be pre-approved, working with the lender, working with the realtor, and looking for properties in these areas.
So, okay, a lot to unpack on this. A lot to unpack. First of all, is it income restrictions with this grant?
Uh, I don't believe there are income restrictions. They don't have it. However, they don't have it listed. It probably is though. Most of our grants are usually a certain percentage of the AMI, which is the area median income. And so most of that is about, for the Chicagoland area, you're at about like 150,000. Usually is the cap for most Chicago area grants, but they don't have it listed on the website. So we would have to actually reach out to somebody who's running a program for that.
What about occupancy in terms of like what type of properties, right? Is it only for single families? Can you use this with multifamilies as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the multifamily queen. Yes, you can absolutely use this for multifamily. Of course, this is also for an owner occupant, right? So they want you to live in the property, but there is no qualification or no restriction on how long you have to live in the property. So some grants are actually not grants. Sometimes they're given as liens against the property for a certain number of years, right? Like for NACA, for example, right? Like you get there's a 5-year lien placed against the property. You have to, own the property for 5 years, and if you don't, you have to pay back $5,000 per year, less of that 5 years. This grant is a truly forgivable grant with no strings attached. So I think that's one of the great things to point out is that you don't necessarily have to live there for a certain amount of time. So even if you're gonna, do the 4-3-2-1 strategy, right, with the house economics, like you can go in and you can use this grant and own and occupy for a short amount of time, and you don't have to, live there for very long. And you can into a property with really no money down.
Okay, so that's good to know. So you just have to follow whatever program you're using, like FHA, conventional, or VA, whatever their occupancy requirements are. Then you just have to
Yeah.
follow that. All right, so we don't know if there's a income restriction, but 9 times out of 10, most grants do have, like you said, percentage of the AMI. We know we can use it with a multifamily. That's good.
Yep.
And is there a certain loan amount, right? Is it following like conforming loan amounts, or like what about FHA loan amounts? Because I know in Chicago and surrounding cities, depending on where you are, is different loan amounts for FHA versus others. So is this
Yep.
program following like you can't exceed X, Y, and Z loan amount?
So it's following conforming loan amounts for Cook County. And Cook County loan limits have, they went up at the top of 2023. So, I mean, buying a multi-unit or single family, like you can buy for the loan limits for conventional, especially in these areas, you won't have no issue finding properties, at the price point of what the loan amount is. But yeah, conforming loan amounts for Cook County.
Okay. Now, you said something very interesting. You said that you cannot apply for this grant until you're actually in contract for sale for a property in one of those, I think it's 11 areas that you mentioned.
Yep.
What is the turnaround time for the grant to get approved so that way you can close on time?
Well, I mean, I think that's the magic question, right? When you're dealing with programs and grants and things like that. What I've seen though in the past is about 45 days or so, right? So it's really not holding up your closing process at all. It's really just a matter of just having the resources, being in communication with the individuals who are running the grant, and resourceful. Like for example, I had excuse me, I'm like my child is going crazy. I got a new puppy over here. So in regards to that, like I said, so you're looking at like a 45-day, I would say, typical like closing or turnaround on that. And it's not, I mean, if you need to get an extension, most sellers are expecting for you to get an extension, on like properties here. I think the biggest thing is making sure that you're staying in communication with the individuals who are running the program. But yeah, once you submit, if you know you're going to be going after this grant, then the great thing about it, one, is you can look up the target area. So you can actually go on the website for just Google CNRP, Chicago Neighborhood Recovery Program. The site will come up under the chicago.gov website, and you can actually put the property address that you're interested in into the site, and it'll tell you if if it falls within the area or not. And then,
Really?
like I said, and then once you do, like I'm looking at it right here, and there's a map.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
and
Let
everything.
me, is that the website that I sent you earlier?
Yep,
Hold on. Let's bring it on the screen for the people, right? Let me see. Let's bring it on the screen. All right. So
yep.
can you see my
So,
screen?
yep. Scroll down.
All right. Let me make this a
Click
little bit bigger.
on.
Pause. Hold on. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Pause, pause, pause. All right. So you said
So the
scroll
good
down.
thing, yep. So the good thing is that you can take a look at the map. So if you
Oh,
click on the
okay.
map for any, yep,
So out of these
yep.
cities right here, so this is I'm taking
Those are the neighborhoods.
these are the neighborhoods right here.
Yep. So this is all Chicago. These are
Okay.
all neighborhoods inside of Chicago. So this is the south and the west side of Chicago.
Out of these neighborhoods that we're seeing right here on my screen right now, what would be the top three that you think has a greater a chance of appreciation and has good cash flow?
Okay. So great appreciation is definitely going to be Austin. Um, is definitely going to be South Shore.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say West Humble Park. So if I had to do like a top three, I would say Austin. Yep, West Humble Park. That's like the northwest side of the city. There's a
And South
lot of
Shore.
yep,
And,
and
and
South Shore, right by the lake, right by the beach. Yeah.
so it's right by the lake, the beach, and I think you said the Obama Library, right?
Yep. South Shore is right by the Obama Library. So in
All right.
regards to appreciation.
So
In
so if
regards to
we click on the map here. So I just clicked on the map for the South Shore
yep,
target area. So okay,
yep.
it's showing us. So I guess this is the South Shore basically.
Yeah, so now that's the thing about the program. So it's in South Shore, but this is not the entire South Shore, right? So this is the South Shore neighborhood, but the grant is specifically targeting these areas, and that's why you see it still says MMRP on there, because it's micro market recovery program. So within the market, there is a specific parameter in the market where you can use the grant for. So this is from 67th Street to 71st Street, and from Jeffrey to South Shore. So about a mile wide for this specific area.
Okay.
And some of them are bigger, though. It really just depends.
Okay, that's interesting. You said West Humboldt Park. Let's go to West Humboldt Park. Okay, this
Yep.
looks a lot bigger.
Yep, a
Pause.
lot bigger, a lot more opportunity, a lot more properties, and a lot more changing that's taking place as well. Like I said, the developments that are coming to West Humboldt Park, it's already started to change. It's already started to um, be gentrified in terms of like there's new developments within a 2 mile radius of West Humboldt Park, and then like you said, you see the opportunities are definitely bigger here.
Okay, so that's West Humboldt Park, South Shore, and I think you said Auburn was the third one.
Austin.
Austin
Yep,
was
I
the
said
third one.
Austin. So, yep. So that's at the edge of the city. If you go west, it's at the um, edge of the city on the west side, and it borders one of the most expensive west suburban neighborhoods called Oak Park. It's one of the um, it's the closest suburb adjacent to the west side of the city. So after you leave Chicago, you're in Austin, which is still is a neighborhood of Chicago, and then Oak Park is literally across the street, where fully rehab properties are definitely like a million plus. So this is literally right next door to that.
Okay, it looks like Austin has a lot of 2 to 4 units here. Definitely heavy single families, but they definitely
Mm.
got the 2 to 4s and the 5+ unit buildings in this area for sure.
Yep, yep. And it's cool too. So like you can, how they have the map where you can see, if you're looking for a single family, you can see in these areas, okay, this area has a surplus of single families, or this area has like a surplus of multi-units, depending on what it is that you're looking for. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm always advocate that you use that the grant, the free money to get as many units as possible.
Okay. Okay, good stuff.
Uh,
Good stuff. So the website seems very easy to use. What I'm going to do here is I'm
yeah.
going to copy and paste this website for you guys in the chat. So that way you can go out here and explore this on your own and do your own due diligence, because that's what we're all about here at Rants and Gems, is to give you guys the tools and the information and the resources, so that way you don't have to trust our word for it. You can just go do it yourself and look for it yourself. So I just put this link to that website in the chat. So what are some cons about this grant? Because there's always something that's wrong. So tell us if
Yeah,
you have any cons about this.
to be honest, the only thing that I've seen, and like I said, I've had clients close on this grant a couple of times. Your question about like if you go under contract and then you submit for the grant, how long does it actually take? Because we are dealing with the city, we are dealing with non-for-profit programs. There may be some delays, but I haven't seen. And if you have a seller on the other end that has a tight deadline or a tight restriction, and they are like, hey, they don't want to grant an extension. That's the only thing that I've seen, is that maybe the actual lender and underwriting being ready to close and the file approved before, they're actually ready to issue the grant. But other than that, I haven't seen any issues with it. I actually had one of my first clients close on this program in 2018, I want to say. So, like, 5-6 years ago, and no issues. They never came back and asked for the money or nothing like that. And then one of the great things is that you can actually stack this grant. So if there's any other grants and programs, IDA is one of the most commonly statewide grants. We've talked about that before on the show. IHDA, that's the statewide grant. But you can stack this on top of other grants, or maybe there's grants for anything, right? Because you're a student, or because you this, or because you're that, whatever. That's one of the great things about it. But I would say that's really the only con that I would say is that sometimes there could be a delay. So maybe instead of that 30 to 45 day close, maybe you're looking at like 45 to 60. But regardless, like the program, they're very responsive, and you're like, hey, I got a seller that's about to pull, this deal. What's going on? I've seen them like get on top of it, CC anybody and everybody that they need to, CCing people from the city to pull it together and to make it happen. I have had a client before who missed out on a grant and just went ahead and closed on the property because she didn't want to wait and she didn't want to lose the property. So I tell people all the time when they're like, well, how much money should I have saved? Like, have as much saved as possible, but the goal is for you not to use any of it. But it obviously still takes money to buy a property, right? You got to pay for the inspection, pay for the appraisal, put earnest money down. So you absolutely should still have savings going into purchasing a property. And if you have a grant lined up, that's wonderful. My client who just closed 2 weeks ago, it was the same situation. She had the money saved up and she was ready to go to the closing and say, I'm gonna put money down if she had to, but we was able to, get her paired up with this grant, and she couldn't believe it. She was like, I just bought a property for nothing, right? But she had the money saved. But if she loved the property, but if the seller wasn't open to like granting the extensions and things like that, it might have come down to where it's like, all right, the seller gonna pull this deal and put it back on the market, or are you ready to close? Because especially if your clear to close comes through, and especially if the lender says that the loan is approved, you could have a seller on the other end that's like, all right, let's close.
I
But
love
that's
it.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time, set the expectation with your sellers and your offers up front. Let them know that you're getting a grant. Let them know you're going to need at least 60 days to close. And if you close before 60 days, it's a home run. Especially
Right.
something where you don't have to go through a long, drawn out process. It still will be some sort of process. And especially if
Right.
this one doesn't start until you actually have an executed contract, then yeah, 60 days sounds like the right amount of time that you would need to close on something like this.
Yep. And then, like I said, they're going to just require that you turn in those like home buyer certificates, right? So first time home buyer certificates, or like a landlord certificate, and just watch the class, get their certificate, send it in, and that's it. That's the only other requirement.
Okay, so let's fast forward to something before we cut this episode, because I have to go and I have to go, right? But I can't let you go before you discuss the 2024 housing predictions for Chicago. What is happening with Chicago real estate in 2024, in your opinion?
Man, so I got two listings that hit the market last week. One was a 4 unit in the western suburb that got two offers in the first week. And I had a single family in the city, not in the best of neighborhoods either, but in the city that is a full renovation and is a flip. So, two different asset classes there, right? A single family that needs a rehab in a okay part of the city, and a multifamily that's great for a home buyer in a great part of the city. The single family got two offers in the same day. So in 24 hours, we got two offers on it. And then, like I said, the multifamily, two offers in a week. So that lets me know that buyers are definitely back in the market and ready. Obviously, there's been an inventory shortage nationwide, just with this weird market, with rates going up and down and inventory, really not being a thing. But buyers are ready. Buyers been ready, and with the inventory that's coming out, like I think that's really what it is. Like there hasn't been good deals for so long. So when a good deal comes on the market and it's priced right, people are jumping all over it. So I think the housing prediction is going to be on fire. I definitely think it's going to be better than what has been the last 2 years. The last 2 years were really weird. I would say for where we saw the change or the shift take place here was definitely summer of 22. A lot of things slowed down. You know, of course, buyers were so nervous because rates went from 3 to 6%. And then obviously, you know, kept going up from there. But then even as rates were high, I saw it slow down, but then it picked right back up because I honestly believe it's because of influencers and educators like you and I who were literally still telling people like, okay, rates are high, you keep buying, right? And so I truly believe that the psychology of buying, like buyers got used to the rates. Like, okay, well, rates, you know, it is what it is. Like the longer that I prolong buying, like the more expensive it's gonna cost in the long run. And we were constantly putting that education out, and literally when buyers were coming to me, I didn't even have to convince them that it's a good time to buy, right? They knew it. And so those buyers that were in the market, they stayed steady, they stayed consistent. They're like, okay, if I close, if I get locked into this rate, I can always refi later. So now anybody that's been waiting, they know for a fact they should jump in now. Because everybody thinks like, oh, okay, well, the spring market and this and that and this and that. Real estate sells year round. People sell year round. That was one of the things that I learned when I first got into the business. I was like, who's gonna move in the wintertime? No, people are buying and selling year round. So I don't think the whole like, oh, waiting until the spring market, you know, because it's gonna be hot or whatever. No, like right now it's 32 degrees outside, but guess what? It's also January, and everybody has goals at the top of the year to buy property or to buy real estate this year. So who's busy? Who's working? We working, right? We busy. You got properties that are getting multiple offers in the same day or in the same week. That's definitely letting me know that the market is coming back around and people are just waiting for a good inventory.
I agree with that. I think that's kind of like universal or nationwide, I should say, that people are still buying. People are going to always buy real estate no matter what the hell is going on in life. People always need a place to live, and investors are always going to invest. And Robert Richards in the comments says he disagrees. He says waiting is better. Well, I disagree with you. What the hell are you waiting for? The unknown, right?
And that is
Like,
the answer, because when
what are you waiting
people,
for?
clients ask me all the time, should I wait? And I ask them, wait for what? And they
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
That's
they
the
don't know.
thing.
They don't know.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, you're gonna wait. See, their logic, and I'm pretty sure Robert and others who think that have that type of mentality, it's like I'm gonna wait till there's more inventory or rates go down. Well, guess what? You and millions of other people are have that same mentality, are all gonna jump in at the same time. And what do you think is gonna happen to home prices? They're gonna go this way.
But what if rates don't go down?
And what if they don't go down? But home prices have shown you that they have still appreciated over the past 2 years, even with higher interest rates.
Well, and it's historically proven that properties appreciate on 3 to 4% annually anyway in a
Anyway,
regular market.
yeah. Over the
So
last
yeah,
65 years, homes have appreciated on average 3 to 4% nationwide. Like, so what are you waiting for? For it to get more
right.
expensive?
Right, because that's really what's gonna happen. So yeah, I mean, and we've talked about it, right? We talk about it till we blue in the face, right? Don't wait to buy real estate and wait, right? And that's not a quote that you and I came up with, right? And then also, right, 90% of millionaires are made so through investing in real estate. So if you're gonna wait for anything, I mean, I don't know what you would wait for. I mean, wait until you have your team, right? Or wait until you feel like, you know, you have a good deal or a great deal. But there's good deals that are out there in any market. You just have to find the deal in that market. You have to be resourceful to find that deal. But I don't believe in waiting years or even months, right? Because you never know. But yeah, like the years have shown us that anything can happen in this market, and you just gotta stay ready, right? Like people, when COVID happened, like, yeah, we all was fearful at one point in time. We thought the world was gonna end, right? But then when we saw that the world wasn't gonna end, it was like, oh well, if I ain't gonna do nothing else, I might as well buy some real estate, right? Because the longer people are gonna be here, the longer, like you said, people need a place to live, work, sleep, everything. And the people that waited, To buy during COVID, we already know, right? What happened? They regretted it because they didn't buy when rates were 2 and 3 and 4%, right? Rates have dropped now, and you're saying like you're gonna wait until what? You don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. So I never try to predict the market. But I think you just have to be resourceful to know how to shift in any market and know how to make moves in any market and how we need to price things and how we need to, have conversations with our sellers and our buyers. And like you said, set expectations. This is what the market is. This is what it's doing. This is what I'm seeing. And this is, how we need to position ourselves to, position ourselves for success, right? Whatever that goal is. If the goal is to sell the property quickly, this is where we need to be priced at, right? Or if the goal is to go into a property and you want a ton of equity and you want to do a burst strategy or you want to do a 203K, but you also want equity, right? Well, maybe you should be looking in this area versus this area, right? So it's never a matter of when you buy, it's how you buy. It's always a good time to buy real estate.
So don't try to time the market. Worry about your time in the market. Very simple
Right.
advice for everybody watching this here. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Rashauna Scott, tell the people if they want to work with you in Chicago or surrounding areas, how can they get in contact with you and your team? Because you are the investors realtor, and we need investors realtors to help us make good, wise financial real estate decisions. So how can we get in contact with you?
Yes, you absolutely do need investors, realtors. If you're looking to invest, don't work with a realtor who has never invested if you are trying to be an investor. Okay. But I'm Rashawn Scott everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, whatever the platforms are. I'm Rashawn Scott everywhere. That's where you can find me. All of my links are in my bios. You can schedule a call. That's going to be the best way to get in touch with me or my team. And then we'll go ahead and get you going. So yeah, all things real estate, Chicago real estate, investing, anything from first time home buyers up through large multifamily. We got it, on and off the market.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rashauna Scott, throw some gems in the comments for her, and also go follow her, Rashauna Scott, everywhere, and reach out to her and her team if you're looking to buy in Chicago. All right. So that's it for this episode of Rants and Gems. I appreciate y'all tuning in live today. I might be back tomorrow. No, I'm not coming back tomorrow live because we have the class. Ed, just go to Instagram and type in Rashauna Scott. Like you'll see her. I'm not posting no link. Okay. So tomorrow is the class, the Path to Home Ownership 4-week masterclass. Go to MG Mortgage Academy to sign up today. And no, I don't have an audio book, but you can go to mgbookstore.com and pick up the physical copies of the book. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Peace, love, and I'll see y'all probably Wednesday. Peace.